Samantha works in a nursing home. She takes care of a patient with dementia. Following the interruption of visits due to the COVID epidemic, he stopped eating. Samantha thinks that the team should be able to allow some visits, but she doesn't know who to talk to or what to do. She feels that her patient is not being given the best chances. She feels angry on the inside. Luke works in pediatrics. They received a sick newborn baby, but only one of the two parents can be with them due to the COVID situation. Luke thinks that this is not the right decision, and he also has to explain this rule to parents all day. He feels like he's lying to himself. He wonders whether he should disobey. It's really churning in his head. Layla works in child psychiatry. Because of the risk of spreading COVID, the hospital management chose not to discharge the children to their families or foster families on weekends. They were usually hospitalized during the week only. For these children, several weeks come and go. Layla feels as though they are being locked up, an additional psychological pain that is unacceptable. She does not agree with this choice and the guidelines that she has to follow. She would have really liked to be able to express her point of view, to discuss it with the people in her hospital who made that decision. The more time passes, the more frustrated she gets. She feels like she's letting down the children. She feels like a coward in some ways. COVID or not, conflicts between what we are asked to do and our values often come up, sometimes in violent ways. This is the case, for example, when you cannot provide care to someone who is undocumented, or because an interpreter is not available, when you don't have what you would consider necessary to provide good care for a patient, when we have to follow guidelines that we think are not good for the patient, or when situations seem unfair to us. In our jobs, and depending on who we are, we have built ourselves around values, and it is important to identify them. Sometimes situations force us to work in disagreement with these values. Awareness of this is an important first step because these situations affect us deeply, and this is an important factor in the occurrence of burnout in the workplace. Taking time to identify where our values are being compromised, talking with others about conflicts in our values, allows us to name things that are often left implicit. These steps also allow us to put things into perspective or to see what we can accept, especially if it's for a given period of time, or if we feel supported. Sometimes, getting in touch with other caregivers, organizations, or caregiver groups can initiate change in a situation that has become too difficult. Taking care of ourselves is also respecting ourselves, and therefore feeling allowed to say no, to set boundaries if the conflict with our values is too strong. Become aware of conflicting values. Put words to identify and understand them. It allows us to share them and support each other. It's also taking care of ourselves so we can continue to be caregivers.